Hello Mr. Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. This time we have another episode of Decent Defeats. I think we're on episode 17 now. It's been quite a while since we've done a Decent Defeat episode, and today I've got two videos to show you. The first one is featuring the Tier 10 American heavy tank, the T58. Now I think it's the first, this is probably like the second or game I think I played in this tank. And I've had it saved up for quite a while. I don't think I've actually done a video on the T58 Heavy yet, but it's a really solid heavy tank. It's a 3-shot autoloader with 750 alpha per shot. You've got 276 penetration on your standard AP rounds, and then you've got a whopping 370 penetration on your heat rounds. It does have a 7.5 seconds interclip. So it's not one of those autoloaders you can just sort of full send in and dump your shots. You're not going to dump your shots quickly. You do have a 7.5 second interclip, but you're hitting them for 750 alpha, so they're really going to feel it when you hit those tanks. So initially, on this first map on Vineyard, we're going to push up to sort of the left hand side of the map. I've got to be a little bit careful because there is a fun police in the game, and if you poke the sort of top of the ridge, quite often you do get slapped by that fun police because it's it's an easy area for them to focus there. So I like to kind of use this right hand side at the start just to avoid getting hit by the fun police, and just see if we can punish any tanks which get detected, like this 58 for example, and we get a nice penetration shot in there, getting our first pen for 780. So we are detected now, so we're just backing up while our interclip's going off, just trying to lose our spot, and then we're going to see again if we can get any opportunities to get some shots in. We're just waiting for something to be spotted. We don't seem to have a lot of stuff on the other side of the map, so ideally I would like to push up and win this side, but we can't really do that yet. We do manage to finish off that 58 there, getting our first kill of the day, putting us under 1400. Fun police is starting to shoot us, so we are going to start to back round. Now, what I'd like to do in ideal world is get to like that B8 ridge, and from there you can try and you can shoot their spawn, you can shoot the enemy tanks camping in their base, but it's not quite possible for us to do that right now. We're just going to dump our reload and then just assess the situation while we're on reload, just checking the hit points of the tanks. It's always useful information to know. If I can go around and kill 2 one-shots, it's going to impact my decision if whether I'm going to push or not. So we're almost reloading, and I'm thinking at this point that I would like to push around and just get rid of these tanks. It's obviously awkward because if I get caught out in the open, I could get shot in the side, but this game's starting to slip away from us, and we've lost the other side, so I do need to do something. So this is when I was thinking about going in, but just as I was about to do my move, enemy light tank gets spotted, and I decided to try and take a shot at that light tank because I didn't really want him across the map shooting us from behind when we make our move. But we don't hit our shot, our friendly other tank's gone in, and our team's starting to make the push, so I want to now push across. We are actually losing this game, and enemy tank are already in our starting to get to our spawn. But if I cross over, I should be able to get myself in a position to get cross shots in. We get a really nice shot into that light tank, putting them onto a one-shot there, putting us onto 2,200 damage. If I get an opportunity to finish this light tank, I'm going to take it. I've got 1 shot left, just waiting to see if he's going to present himself a shot, but it doesn't look like that's happening right now. But I'm just going to keep moving forward. But as that happens, he does present himself a shot, and thankfully that goes in, confirming getting rid of the enemy light tank is very, very useful. And now we're on our reload. So, like I say, the enemy team are starting to push around. I could go back to defend the base, but I'm kind of thinking I might actually have easier cross shots from here, especially on tanks like this back chat is just pushed into the open. And we're waiting to see if we can get a shot into this enemy back chat. We do get a shot in, and then he gets a shot by our machine, and we take out a dangerous tank there. Enemy front police is now looking for shots at us, and that is far from ideal. But there are tanks crossing. Again, we're looking to try and get shots in. We're still 2 tanks down at this point, but that could change. We're going to see if we can get a shot there into Leopard. Unfortunately, that one doesn't hit. and we're just sort of hanging fire for our last shot to see if we can get that, land another shot for that 750 alpha, try and help out our team before we go on that reload. But at the moment no one appears to be poking, but we're just sort of patiently waiting for that to happen, because they are sort of slowly trying to poke over to get shots at our friendly teammates here. So enemy tanks cross. I was hoping to try and get a shot into that heavy tank. We missed the opportunity to hit the E75, and unfortunately we then missed that shot onto the Soviet heavy tank. But now we need to get on to reload and I'm trying to fall back. It looks like we're going to lose that base area, and that's not ideal. I'm trying to use this rock to keep myself shielded from the enemy team as I try and lose my spot. And at this point I'm thinking, this is not great. I'm almost reloaded though, and I might have an opportunity to get a shot into this E75. We get one in, track him in place, which is great. He then gets retracked by a friendly teammate, and we're able to get the finishing shot in, confirming a kill, putting us into a 4 versus 6, which quickly goes to a 4 versus 5. So at this point I'm thinking, you know what, no, this is looking a lot better for us. But then an enemy 58 comes behind us, and now I'm thinking, my game's done at this point. He's fired one shot there. He could potentially finish us off. Now we are a one shot to them, and the enemy fun police is looking at us. So I'm thinking my game's probably done at this point, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to avoid getting shot by that fun police, trying to get out of the way of this 58. I want to try and get to this ridge line around the right to try and give me somewhat protection from this 58 heavy, who has fired 2 shots. So if he misses 1 shot now, then I know I'm going to be able to get the kill. But if he doesn't, it's going to be game over. So we're looking to get this shot in here. Thankfully we get that shot in, and that puts them into a 1 shot. So at least now we're both onto a 1 shot. But I'm in a 2 versus 4 situation right now. So I'm going to try and just move around. The fun police is looking at us. I've just got to kill this 58 heavy at this point. If we're going to have any chance of getting anything out of this game. Waiting for this 58 heavy. He comes around. Thankfully we get that shot in, puts us in a 1 versus 3. We bounce the shot off of the enemy heavy tank there, but the fun police is looking to try and take us out. We're on 6,000 damage, 4 kills, so we're having a pretty decent game. I'm kind of thinking at this point that I'm not going to be able to win this game sat here with the fun police just constantly having free reign, just to to pick all the time in the world to get shots into us. So I need to try and lose my spot and get across to try and kill this fun police before the enemy team push up towards us. So I'm going to go now while we're on reload. I'm just hoping that I get across before the heavy tanks catch me out in the open of this field and kill me. But I'm thinking my best chance of winning this game is to kill that fun police, and then I just have to deal with a 1 versus 2 against those heavy tanks. But we do know one of the heavy tanks is at least a 1 shot. Now we spot the enemy T92, we get 1 shot in, we try and evade his shot, we do. Now hopefully this should be the opportunity, we don't want to miss this shot, it's quite important. We do get the kill, and that puts us on 5 kills, 7,000 damage. And now we're into a 1 versus 2 against, I think at this point it's an enemy 58 heavy, and also that 1 shot enemy heavy tank. So we're just poking to see if they cross in the open, but then one of the tanks gets in the cap, which I'm assuming is the 58 heavy. So I'm going to make my way towards that 58 heavy. At this point I'm reloading only 2 shells into the clip. Now I've just realised that I made a classic mistake, so I'm going to have to go back on reload now, because I want to have those 3 shots remaining. I don't want to be stuck with just 2 shells, because that could make the difference. And I'm just trying to get across as fast as I can to this 58 heavy, which we suspect in the cap, and I want to get there before I get caught out by the enemy heavy, which could potentially be chasing me down. Hopefully he's not, and he's pulled back towards the base. That would be ideal for me, because if he comes behind us, it's going to be awkward. But we don't really have a lot of choice in this situation. We've got a minute in the cap. We've got to go for the resets. We are put under pressure at this point. If it wasn't for the cap, I could have played a little bit differently. Unfortunately, we do again get detected. It's a 1 shot heavy, and we poke here. It's probably a bit silly, but I knew I didn't have a lot of time, so I was thinking I was going to try and just eat the shot and then pen him and kill him. Unfortunately, he was hold down I wasn't able to get the kill. If I was able to get the kill, it probably would have been okay, because whatever happens, I was a one-shot to the 58 Heavy regardless, so it didn't really make much difference to me if I was on 600 hit points or 200 hit points against the 58, because it's the same outcome if they pen us. But now we're starting. You know, I'm thinking at this point I've probably lost this game. You know, there's 12 seconds on the clock. If I don't get the reset, I've lost anyway. So I might as well try and get the shot into his cap. And as I poke, I get shot by the 58. And yeah, I think maybe I messed up at the end there, but and that's a shame. But you know, you can't win them all. But we do finish that game with 5 kills and 7,000 damage and the high caliber, bringing us into replay number 1. But with one more replay to show you. Okay, so here we are for the final replay on Highway. We are in the Atomic. This is the latest buffed version of the Atomic with the really fantastic DPM. And we're on Highway. It is a top tier game and there's no fun police. We have got what I call the preferred spawn when I'm in a medium tank, and we're going to try and push initially underneath the bridge with the goal of trying to get up and underneath their ridge to try and spot the enemy tanks sort of in the base area and try and get some damage. So we get our first spot and we manage to get into this position without taking any punish, which is fantastic, and we pick up a little bit of assistance there straight away off of this heavy tank we're spotted, but we pick up 1,000 assistance. So a fantastic start to this game. And already I can tell that the team haven't pushed down the sort of A line, so this is going to give me freedom to get up underneath their ridge quickly, which is what I want to do. You know, if it's possible, I feel like it's an opportunity to get there quickly, I will, because I'm going to put the team under pressure from the start of the game. I'm going to spot them, and if I catch someone out who hasn't, you know, who's a bit too far forward, I might pick up a bit more of assistance damage here as I'm the tank lighting all these tanks up. So we do spot an enemy TD, and we're hold down here. We're just looking for shots while we can, and also, you know, just trying to keep everything detected. So in the hope we get some assistance. Obviously we don't have any fun police, but anything too far up the ridge might get shot by our TDs, and we just pick up another 400 spotting assistance there. Trying to see if we can finish off this 4-sig if we can. We get one shot in there, looking to try and get the finish, and we just squeeze that finish in there. So having a really decent start to this game. And now we're going to try and get a bit more central underneath their ridge and move forward and just, you know, try and be in a hold down position. You know, a good position for the Atomic. And also this tank, since the Atomic was always good, right? You know, it was always one of the best Centurions in my opinion. And then they buffed it. They buffed all the other tanks, but then they buffed the Atomic again, which didn't make a great deal of sense to me, because it didn't really need it. You know, the Huntsman and stuff like that, yeah, okay, did need a buff, and they got a buff, which is great, but then they buffed the Atomic as well, so I still think the Atomic is the best version of the Centurions now. So we're getting some good penetration shots in here, as you can see, picking up a bit more assistance, putting us on to 1,700 damage and 1,600 assistance, and so far we managed to keep our hit points all intact. We're just trying to rinse and repeat, basically, keep everything detected, try and look for shots in while we can. We're looking for a shot on that heavy tank, we don't quite have it. Got to be careful, because when I turn my turret like this, then I'm exposing it to the stuff on the hill, and I could get penetrated more easily, so got to keep that in mind. But I am looking for the shots. Just want to keep this damage going, because this game is starting already to, you know, turn for the worst. You know, besides having quite a good position, feeling like we're doing quite a lot of work at the moment. You know, we are getting shots in. Our team do seem to be losing, and we are seem to be losing in the town, which is something I'm going to have to be aware of, because obviously if they break through the town, start pushing towards our base, I'm suddenly going to be in the middle of the map, being able to get shot from behind. So that's something we're going to have to, you know, just be conscious of. Basically, if they do break through, we might have to turn and try and deal with that situation. But for the meantime, I'm just trying to get as much damage in as I, as I can. Try and get these tanks down as low as possible. Putting us into 2,600 damage. Looking for a shot in that IS-3. I do get shot there by the Dragon. Looks like he fires a Hesh round but doesn't pen. And we do get one back into that Dragon, which is nice. and we're just again. But looking on the mini map on the right hand side, I mean, yeah, the tanks are going to start to push through towards our base soon. And you see we keep scanning onto the right, because if that happens, we're going to want to try and get shots into those tanks as they approach our base. But I also just don't want to miss out on any damage here. Yeah, I want to keep getting my shots into these tanks. I don't want them to push over towards us. I want to try and keep them back, keep them thinking. But now suddenly this game has really turned for the worse. So now in a 6 versus 12 situation, and things are looking bleak. So IS-3 is in the open for us though, and we're going to try and get as much damage into this tank as we can before we get into cover and avoids our shots. We want to see if we can take out this IS-3. Getting 3 shots into him. He's just crashed into the rock there. Should have another opportunity. We get one in, putting him onto a 1-shot, but he just gets safe before we're able to get that shot in. We're now into a 4 versus 10, and yeah, I don't think. I'm not too confident about winning this game at this point. I'm just trying to get as much out of it now as I possibly can. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going to the very end, but its chances are looking pretty bleak at this point. We're trying to get some punish in his 3k as much as we can. We do damage his ammo rack, which he repairs. Get another shot in, and hopefully we'll be able to get one more in before he gets into cover. But no, he doesn't. He just gets in to evade that shot. And if these tanks get any further than this, really I need to start even falling back even further, because yeah, they could just, once I get detected here, I'm not going to be in a good position. But I was looking to try and get as much punishing as I could. But at this point, I'm now thinking, you know what, I need to go. I need to fall back further, because these tanks are just going to start to push over this hill and then get shots into us. So I'm just going to try and run all the way back to the other side of the ridge to try and get shots into them when they start to push across this river road. In a 3 versus 9, I don't think our other two teammates are going to be able to hang on for much longer either, and it's not looking good. But we have had a good game though. We've got 5,000 damage, 2,600 assistance, despite not looking too great. We get a nice shot into the Tiger there. We're now into a 2 versus 9. And I'm definitely thinking this game at this point, yeah, this is going to be over. I just want to get as much out of this as I possibly can. I'm just going to keep fighting to the very end. We're now into a 1 versus 9. And yeah, I can't win this at this point, but I am going to just keep going. I didn't fire then, because I didn't want to get detected before I was in a hold down position. But now I'm going to move over, get into this ridge, and just make my last stand at this point. Let's all the team go and cap and sort of split the teammates up. But yeah, I really have not got a lot of chance. We get one shot in the VK though. Maybe we can get another shot into this VK before he gets to us. We're looking to try and get the finish, just try and get as much as we can. I'm expecting to be rushed by a lot of tanks in a minute here. But VK, we might be able to finish him off. We're just waiting until he turns. We do get the shot. We kill the VK, picking up our 2nd kill of the game, putting us into a 1 versus 8 with only 500 hit points. And we're getting detected here. We're just trying to back up. I'm just trying to get, just think at this point I'm thinking, can I just get to 6k damage? And that'd be really nice. Looking for a shot in the VK. Unfortunately, it doesn't go through his lower plate. Dragon comes up, puts one in, pens us there, I think, with the Hesh. Puts us onto a 1-shot. We do get 1 back in return. The IS-3 is coming around. He's going to kill us. We might be able to get 1 in though before he does. We do get that 1 shot in, and that brings us an end to the video. Like I say, you can't win them all, but we did manage to have a pretty big game considering we didn't win. Wasn't enough to get the win, but we did get 6,000 damage, 2 kills, 2,600 assistance, and the ace tanker on the loss and the high caliber. So we did as much as we possibly could, but you can't do enough all the time. So that is it for the video. Thank you so much for your support, and happy tanking.
Hadouken!